Why do we have to go? Because
I like what you're doing. I don't know
well,
what you're doing, but I like
I
it.
I was trying to, like, make sure that my nose hairs were all out and taken care of because I keep getting tickles up my nose, and I don't know if it's the mustache or if it's just my old age, you
Or it
know?
could be your nose lashes, right?
Yes, something of that
Getting
sort,
them
but
nose lashes in there, yeah. You know what? You pull off a fancy stash there, buddy. Like, I don't think I could do that. Mine's not dark enough.
I don't know if I can pull this off either, to be honest with you.
Dude, I'm here to tell you, that's a fantastic looking mustache. Tom Selleck himself would be jealous of that.
I kind of feel like this is the kind of like the runners thing to do. Maybe it's
Yeah.
a local running thing because I think a lot of like the BYU track
Mhm.
members have the mustache because that's pretty much the only facial hair they can get away with at BYU.
Oh, interesting.
But like I feel like it's kind of in style right now.
I did not think it would come back. I didn't. I thought when I started seeing fellas do this, I thought you guys are like creepers. You're almost on the list. You better be careful. But for some reason, people really
Now
like this mustache lately. I don't know why.
now if I had like those old time like glasses, like the serial killer glasses, then yes, I would be on a list.
You get some Dahmer glasses with a stash, you'd fit right in with
Yeah.
a serial killer.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Major, like, 1980s dad vibes right there too.
Seriously, the stepdad vibes. That's exactly what that is, man. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. My man, how have you been on the well, we should do this officially. Welcome back to the Best Darn Podcast Show.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you,
welcome
Kenny.
you back
Thank you,
to
Kenny,
the
for
Best Darn
pinch hitting
Podcast.
there. I listened to it on my flight home. Fantastic episode. You were worried about Kenny taking your spot. I think Kenny might take my spot. Like that was you guys did great. I appreciate him pinch hitting for me.
It was a lot of fun. Like we talked about on the show, I'm like, man, like, why don't we do this more often? Like, like Kenny, like, let's just record a few extra episodes. Who cares, right? There's no rhyme or reason. Doesn't mean that we have to have on Wednesday. Doesn't mean that like you and Kenny can't do one because you'd probably be better at nerding out about movies that with just the two of you than with me along for the ride. So I don't know,
Man.
Kenny. We want you back.
Yeah, yeah. We needed some Kenny. That's that should be our slogan for 2026 and 2027. We need more Kenny.
We need more Kenny. Yeah, we
Who
do.
doesn't? But how have you
Kenny,
been, man?
Ken.
I've been globetrotting. You've been here. Like, I
Yeah,
do have some bad
it's.
news for you, though. Do you want to get that out of the way first?
You have some bad news for
I
me.
do. I do.
Are you not running the Salt Lake Marathon?
I am not, and let me tell you why. You ready?
Done. Done.
First and foremost, I completely forgot to register.
I was
Second,
meaning
second, I
to
screwed
ask.
my feet up so bad in New York that I probably need to go see the podiatrist. I have worn the wrong shoes to put in 10 miles per day. We're talking 30,000 steps plus, man, every day. Josh, I walked almost every inch of that city. And when I peeled the socks off, like day 4, it was a horror scene, man. And I thought, I can't not do this. So I just got some of this really weird tape. I just taped them suckers up and I just kept going.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
when I got off the plane last night, it wasn't good. Even if I had registered, I couldn't do it. I could barely even walk today, man. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But were you wondering, Josh? It completely snuck up on me. When I saw your post today, I'm like, shiz. I thought I had another 2 weeks
I
at least.
knew. I knew. I knew. I had this inkling in my brain because I remember thinking he probably hasn't signed up. He said that he signed up, but then I don't know if he
Dude,
said he signed up or that he was going to sign up. And this was like a couple months ago.
yeah, and I'm going to, and I had every intention to doing so, but I didn't. I mean, as I'm planning for New York, I'm thinking that's all I care about. I'm like, I'm going, man. And then with the TSA issues, I started getting scared, and I completely forgot about everything. And until I saw your post today of our pictures, I thought, well, piss. I don't. My feet won't recover that soon. I thought we had another couple weeks. I just realized that's next week. That homework assignment's due now.
Mhm.
Even if I wanted to, there's no way I could. I could show you these toes and the blisters that are crazy big. They're
Probably not
pulsating. They are pulsating. I'm gonna lose a toenail too, which I think is very interesting for not running, but, like, walking like a madman.
Yeah. Um, I'm not okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
And I'll tell you
Uh,
why. I'll tell you why real quick. But this is why I'm really doubly mad at Nike, not just for their stupid comment that we will talk about,
mhm,
but I bought Nike shoes, and I thought, "This'll be great, man." And I am sorry, Nike shoes freaking suck. They may look good, but you
mm,
can't do anything in them. Like, the
mm-mm.
toe box, it's a boot, and both of them on both sides screwed up my pinky toes, man. They
Yeah.
are blistered
No,
3 times the size.
that's honestly, that's why I made the switch to Hoka's, what, over 10 years ago.
That's why I run an
I think it
Ultras.
was I think it
Yeah.
was 2014 when I finally made that swap because I ran in Nikes. I ran in I can't even remember. I mean, piece of crap shoe.
My first St. George Marathon was Nikes, and I swore I'd never wear them again in any run, and I should have made that commitment,
Yeah. No, I got
don't get me wrong, I looked good in New York. I looked really good, but
yeah.
my feet were killing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you look lit. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Nikes, like, I got stress fractures from that in 2013, and I'm like, "Nope, I gotta do something better with my feet."
See?
And so I've been basically in Hoka's, even though last weekend I did run in some Brooks that I got. I kinda like the Brooks, man, like, they're pretty comfy, but yeah, Hoka's are I'm kinda brand loyal to those.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I totally spaced, man. I really did think I had another couple weeks, and I'd just slide in there
dude,
and not happening, man.
you know, I could push you.
Dude, that might not be a bad idea. Can you imagine? Like, I just hang my feet over the side, just, like, burning. Yeah.
Seriously, like, why not?
What's stopping me?
Mhm.
Pride. Probably pride, let's be honest.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, let's be honest. Yeah,
But yeah,
well, there is
anyway.
some cool things too, and timely as well. My daughter just got
Mhm.
engaged, so that was kind of a
Wow. Was this planned surprise?
it was, and I have to tell you, when we went to New York for my first time in 2024 in October, that was their first date, and then he proposed to her as we were out there again, so I thought,
Wait,
"Well,
wait,
when you
wait,
guys
wait,
get
wait.
married, we should do it in New York." Yeah, so,
So, there you go. Take
yeah,
me with you, please.
we're good luck.
So wait, their first date was in New York?
No, it was Marissa and I were in New York, and so this is when she first dated this guy.
I
His
gotcha.
name's
I
John.
gotcha.
He's a stellar young man, just an
Mhm.
amazing guy. He came and asked us a couple weeks ago if we would be so kind as to bless him to take her hand, which I always kind of built up in my head would be kind of like this. Now, tell me about your future. But I love
Mhm.
this kid so much. He's such a stellar kid that I couldn't. I mean, he's so good
You're like,
for
"I
her.
thought you would
Like,
never ask. Take her."
yeah, yeah, and she's a picky little git. So, she chose him, he chose her. They did it, and then they went to the Phantom of the Opera. So, yeah, he did it the right way.
So, this is the future nurse.
No, no, that's Savannah. This is Brooklyn,
Okay.
named after
That
another
makes
New York
sense.
City.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
a
I
borough, if you will.
I asked it that way because, I mean, I guess they are over 18, so it doesn't necessarily
Yeah,
matter, but
yeah.
I know that some
Savannah's the one
people are
that's
very
been smoozing you up, trying to get
yeah.
her position in there. Yeah,
I, yeah, I know that some parents are protective about their children, but I'm like, "Yeah, they're over 18."
yeah. Nope. Yep.
But that's awesome. Like, do they have a date?
They they they're shooting for a season. He's trying to get school done, and so I think it can be this fall. So
A
they
season?
TBA, yeah,
Is this a
TBA.
TV show
Yeah, yeah. They're wanting to do the fall season, and so we'll see how that goes. But
in
from
New
right now,
York?
I'm thinking September. I told them they should just because it'd capture the moment, but no, they'll probably do it here because they're boring like that. But hey,
Mm.
one can dream, right?
That's awesome. I mean, congratulations, and
It's a weird feeling, man. Like we had just come off the High Line. We were down there just next to the Vessel, which
mhm,
if you've been down in Lower Manhattan, you'd know what that is. It's a very large art sculpture that you're supposed to be able to walk up, and it's kind of like this hexagonic kind of like vase. It's huge, but
mhm.
people kept throwing themselves off of it to commit suicide, so they shut it down. They won't let people do that anymore. We were just right there going down to the subway station when we got the news that he had proposed, and she said, "I'll FaceTime you," and she never did until we got home last night. So
It
It
runs in the
was
family,
yeah.
whether it's FaceTiming, 2 weeks later
We all
or
have
signing
ADHD
up
at this
for
house,
I was gonna say.
all of us, except for Marissa, and she's like, "How did I create this family of mine?" But it
Hey,
was good.
somebody's gotta rule the roost, right?
Yeah, Josh, I saw some wicked awesome things while we were there, man. I needed to give you a rundown of a few things that really
Yeah.
kind of piqued my interest. First and foremost, like we did a bazillion like museums. We went through so many museums. We went through the New York
The
City of
Muppet.
Art,
The Muppet. The
went to
Muppet.
the Museum of Moving Art, and we saw the
Mhm.
Muppets, and they're not so freaky when they're stationary.
Well, no, but the Swedish Chef was really creepy because there's no good way of conveying the Swedish fish, the Swedish Chef,
Yeah.
because the real Muppet has human hands,
Mhm.
and so they made, like, mannequin real
They
hands.
did. They did, and it looked really creepy, and I didn't even think about that till you said that, and I went back and looked, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that is how they did it, and yeah, that looks pretty damn creepy." Like,
Mhm.
I didn't
Mhm.
even notice that part. I was trying not to make eye contact with him.
I would much rather wear Jeffrey Dahmer glasses than touch those hands, to be honest with you.
Seriously, you saw him, yeah. The freaky one was the Skeksis from, uh, what was it? The Dark Crystal. Like, that thing, did I show you that? I'll just send you a picture of that. Like, you've seen the Dark Crystal. Remember the Skeksis, the
Yeah, I've
really
only seen
weird.
I've only
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, Jim Henson was amazing with what they did. Like, just they even showed behind the scenes on how they did all this stuff, like the like
Mhm.
Sesame Street, the sets below the sets and above the sets, like things they do to do puppetry. And I got to give him a lot of respect. I had no idea how freaking complicated these guys were to make
Oh, yeah.
this look seamlessly like flawless. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
it was incredible to like see how they
Well,
did this.
and then on top of that too, like, depending on the Muppet, right?
Yeah.
Like, some of the Muppets, easy, right? They're just underneath it. But then you
Hmm.
have, like, Big Bird, you have Snuffleupagus,
Which I
you
got a
have
picture next to Big Bird. Yeah, and
yeah.
the mechanics in that are incredible.
Oh, yeah, because yeah, like, you have the hand up here.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know how oh gosh, I can't even remember his name. It's escaping me. But, like, how did the actor that did Big Bird, like,
Yeah.
not have nerve damage from basically
Seriously.
working for, like, 40
Hours.
years like this,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely, with his hand in there, like he's trying to ask a question in school.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude, it was wild. But then they also had there, I didn't show you, they also had, like, the real E.T. there, like the puppet of E.T., like the one they used in the movie. Yeah, it looked like he needed some help. They had the Exorcist girl, like from the Exorcist. I remember watching this when I was a
Was her
kid.
head still spinning?
No, but you could see how they did it. They showed you, and dude, that thing still looks demonic. I'm like, I'm getting out of this room. I don't like this at all. So we saw all that. That was rad. Beheld with my own eyes Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night at the MoMA.
Wow.
Josh was mind blowing to me. Like, I sat there and didn't let anybody else come and see it for a long time because I was just like mesmerized. Like, to
Wow.
see it in real life, I'm like
Yeah.
blown away.
No, I because yeah, that was actually one of the dates that Marianne and I went on. And actually, it was probably the date where I'm like, I kind of could see this like being more. Like I knew it was more, right?
Yeah.
And that's when the Van Gogh experience that they had here in Salt Lake.
Ooh, yeah. I just text you a picture of what I've texted you a picture of the picture.
That's not an ADHD thing.
Yeah.
Dude,
It was
that's
hard. It was
almost
wild, man, to like see this just because this is the one you see in all of the textbooks and stuff. When you think Van Gogh, it's this, right? It's like,
mhm. Mhm. Absolutely.
and then
How big is it though?
it's decent size.
So
It's probably I don't know. It's big. It's bigger.
so basically like the it's not like going and seeing the
The
Mona
Mona
Lisa,
Lisa.
right? When you're like, "That's it?"
Yeah. You've seen the Mona Lisa, right?
Yeah.
In the Louvre. Yeah,
But it's
because I've
tiny
heard
yeah,
that's kind of
it's
small.
tiny. It's very tiny. Like, I swear it's like I mean, it looks like it's almost pocket size, to be honest with you, but,
Yeah.
you
So
know
I'm gonna send you this one too. You've seen this Salvador Dali, the clocks that are melting, right?
Oh, yeah.
They have that one there, and that one was smaller than a piece of like printer paper, and I was kind of I was like, "That's insane."
Really?
It was so small. It was if you put a piece of printer paper up in front of you, it would be bigger than this painting. And they had a lot of Salvador Dali
Isn't
stuff
it
there.
isn't it interesting? Like, I'm not gonna lie, my ADHD is like, I need to put this on a list of things I want to hyper focus on when I need time to hyper focus on something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I wanna know, like, when pieces of art like this, especially like, you know, the the print, like, what goes into the decision process of what size, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
was this just did this just start as a doodle,
Dude,
right?
it's well, yeah, you're right.
I
So
don't know.
so you see that I just sent you that one. That was it's so
Mhm,
small, and I remember looking at that in art class and having it in textbooks and stuff, and going in and seeing the ants on the little piece of what might be fruit right there and stuff.
mhm,
And, like, you look into that picture, and there is a ton of stuff there. But this is so that and the Van Gogh Starry Night was at the MoMA, which is the Modern Museum of Art, like, modern art.
mhm.
Dude, they have Josh, how familiar are you with, like, modern art? I had no idea kinda how I'm sorry, but how dumb
Mm,
some of this is. Some of the modern art that that we saw would it was kind of a joke, and I don't know why people dig this. But here's one I'm gonna send to you. This was just a old snow shovel that they had
mhm.
hung from the ceiling, and it was called stick and metal snow shovel. And we're talking millions of dollars. And if you look at it, it's just hanging there in the air, just a snow shovel. Think of a snow shovel, like one maybe one from like the 60s, where it's a legit metal like scoop with a wooden handle. Josh, people were flocking around this to see this. And I thought I'd use those. Well, I didn't use any this year, but like, all the time.
I don't I don't get it.
Yeah, yeah. And then here's one, like you said, the size of things. This is a Monet, right?
Mhm.
And this thing was so freaking huge, it took up 4 walls, and it was like the water lilies. You've probably all seen
Oh,
this
yeah,
in some way, shape, or form, but it's freaking ginormous, and it's like, wow, like, where would anyone really put this thing? Like, it's
in a
huge.
museum.
In a
Wow.
museum, absolutely. Yeah. So modern art was weird. There was a dude also that took a bunch of pictures of Mona Lisa, and all he would do is draw like mustaches and beards on them, and then that was art. So
Yeah, I've seen those, like, where artists will buy, like, paintings from thrift stores, and then they'll paint,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know, like, rubber ducks or whatever into the scene somewhere,
hmm,
which for me, I like that. That's whimsical. That's modern art for me, I would say, just because it's fun.
yeah,
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 like, it's fascinating, like, what constitutes art, and then why in the world would you flock around a shovel?
yeah, dude, and that's it.
I don't
And
get
there
that.
were two of them. There was one, and there was one further in, deeper in there. So we saw a lot of that stuff, man, and so that was kind of rad. One of the coolest ones we went is this little tiny like City of New York museum. And
Mhm,
last year, Merce and I were watching social media, and there was this dude. His name was Joe. I can't remember his last name, but he had shown like his daughters, like, Dad, you got to share this thing you're doing. And what he did, and you can see this on TikTok. He had carved out little tiny like buildings and stuff and started making downtown Manhattan, right? And he did it after the Twin Towers fell, and he started kind of like piecing this little thing together. And by the time she was like, Dad, you need to share this, he had the entire like New York, like downtown, all the boroughs, everything that he had took 22 years carving. There's over 1 million buildings this guy had like carved out. And only because of social media and the response he got did the people at the museum say, we've got to get this shown. And so we saw it when he first started showing the little panels, because each one of them was a little panel.
mhm.
Josh, it is mind blowing what this guy did with just time. 22 years. It was so big, it wouldn't even fit in the museum. They had to like put it in a special room. You can't even go around the whole thing because it's so big. But like blown away what this guy can do with just a bunch of time on his hands and some creative juices. This man, like, I'll send you a picture of it. He flipping carved out the entire fetching New York State. Like, it's huge. It's huge.
Wait, New York State or
Accurate.
New York City?
It's New York City, dude, but
Okay.
with, like, we're talking, well, it's so hard to explain. I hope the listeners are getting this. It is
I'm understanding that, yeah, like it's every borough, New York City proper, right? So all
yes,
5 boroughs?
all 5 boroughs, like the JFK, LaGuardia, like everything. It is
Amazing.
mind-numbing to, like, even comprehend him doing this.
Why did he start doing it? Was it something
He did
just
it
out of
just as a
reaction of
passion after
9/11?
9/11. Yep, after 9/11, he started doing it, and if you see the first one I sent you, he's got the Twin Towers there and, like, the Freedom, One World Trade. But you've
Wow.
gotta find this guy on TikTok and social media, and that's how this man now it's in this museum, and it's so big, dude, each one of those little things, if you zoom in on it, is a freaking billion, and it's accurate. You could see everything, like, mind-numbing. So, that was cool. Like, we saw
You
so
know,
much
isn't
amazing
that
stuff.
I mean, that's a whole, like, conversation right there about just grief too, like,
Yeah,
and what you
yeah.
do with grief and how you process grief, right?
Mhm.
And I think it speaks to the tragedy of 9/11, especially if you're sticking to this project for, 22 years, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
more. Um, that's amazing. Holy
yeah.
cow.
So we found ourselves kinda cruising down in that area just because it was amongst other places we wanted to see, but I'd heard again on social media that there was they call it the survivor tree, and
Mhm,
I didn't know about this for the first couple times we went down there, but it's the first tree to bloom on ground zero, and it was the
mhm.
only living thing that came out of the disaster. Once all the
Wow.
debris was removed, there was this one little tree that had kind of like made it through, and it was dying, and they nursed it back to health. And it's kind of like a pear, kind of like a pear flowering tree, and
Mhm,
it's kind of the first thing to bloom in spring. And so right now it was just vibing, and I'd never seen that. And you go down there, and there's a bunch of just like ribbons and stuff tied to the outside wall of it.
hmm,
It's a very strong visual of just like
interesting.
perseverance and all this. There's so much stuff like that, Josh. There's so many things. Uh, we did see one play, and I'm not a musical guy, so it's got to be one that's not a play. We saw it's only been out for a few weeks, maybe a week. I think we saw the 5th showing of it. It's got Adrian Brody in it. Have you ever, who Adrian Brody is? He was the guy in like The Pianist, and yeah, he's the main guy. And it's called Fear of 13, and it's a very true story about a guy named Nick Yaris who, in the 70s, was arrested for drugs and stealing cars. And they put this
Mhm,
kid in jail, and he thought, oh, I'm going to get in big trouble for this. And in this jail cell, there was a paper, and on the front page was a story about a lady that was murdered. And so, as in his diabolical brain, apparently, he thought, well, if I tell the cops that I know something about this murder, then they'll say, all right, we'll cut you a deal. We'll let you go, and you won't have to do any time for this because you've given us, the name of who killed this lady. He had no idea who this lady was. He had no idea who killed her, but he had a acquaintance that he had thought died of a drug overdose, a week or two ago. And so he comes in, he says, hey, I don't know, I'll tell you this if you can cut me a deal. So he makes up this story about this guy who died of a drug overdose that killed this lady. Come to find out, it wasn't the same guy. So that guy had an alibi. So all the cops thought, well, you probably killed this lady. They sentenced this man to death on death row off of zero like evidence, because this is in the late 60s, early
mhm.
70s, because he had information that he kind of made up. And so 22 years this man was behind bars, and it went through the whole process of him not really being a prisoner. He did escape once because he's like, I got nothing to lose, and so he escaped. They caught him. Uh, he was going to be put in the electric chair. He met this girl who was coming to do just kind of a service thing, and she started saying, "You're different than these guys," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm innocent." Everyone says that. And right about then's when DNA came around, and so DNA kind of proved to the people years later, after horrible, horrible things were happening. The science was brand new. They didn't know how to test it.
Mhm.
Some of the DNA they collected was non-usable. Finally, after 22 years, this guy's like, "I'm done," and he's like, "I want to just die. So put me. I'm no more pills. I want to die." And man, I'll tell you, dude, like it was one of the heaviest things, because this is a true story. When the governor gets his letter and sent it to the judge is like, well, let's just test this other stuff to see if it has DNA on it. and it came back that it was, not him. Obviously, DNA proved him wrong, but he was in there for 22 years. And I'm
Wow.
telling you, man, towards the very end, he's kind of going through why he turned to drugs and a life of crime. And it was because he was sexually abused as a child. And at the very end, man, I'm telling you, this thing happens. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who wants to go see it, but man, I was bawling. Like, it's just one of these things about fighting for the underdog, like we've talked about a million times. And
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, this kid wasn't a saint, but he didn't deserve to be on have the death penalty and whatnot. I mean, he wasn't thinking. It was wild, dude. And so it was a good trip, man. Like it was 1,005 degrees and then it got real cold. But like I'm telling you, we put in the miles. Went to Yankee Stadium, went to the Barclays Center, we were everywhere, dude.
Did you go to a game then at Yankee
No, I
Stadium?
didn't make it to a game. Like there
Did
wasn't
you go
anything
inside?
happening. Went to the gift shop. They wouldn't let us in all the way, but yeah. Oh, I went to a Tom's Diner where Seinfeld is hanging out. So I went to the
Oh,
Seinfeld Diner.
yeah, I went to I've gone to Yankee Stadium.
It's
Well,
nice.
actually, I went to old Yankee Stadium.
Now this is the new Yankee Stadium. It's very nice,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, old Yankee Stadium wasn't that bad, but that's a whole other story that nobody really wants to hear.
It's my
But
favorite
yeah,
place in
like
the whole world. I could totally see myself living there. That's the problem.
I know because there's always a distraction, and then
Dude, seriously. It's
you'll
ADHD
forget
as a town.
you'll get to you'll forget to sign up for the race, and you
Dude, I
know,
have thousands of funny, scary subway stories. Like, I'm telling you, man, like you see humanity down there. Like there
oh
was
my
one guy
gosh,
that
I
was
know,
high as a kite trying to ask me these questions about stuff. And they found out that I, went to drug and alcohol therapist and stuff. And so he's trying to search addict to athlete on the subway. Get very good cell service down there. And oh man, it was we had some stories, dude. There was some crazy stuff, but
I love it,
I love it,
man.
dude. I love it. The energy. I love everything about it.
Yeah, there's something about big cities, whether
Hmm.
it's New York, whether it's Chicago, not so much LA. I'm not a big fan of LA, to be honest with you. San Francisco, I love the vibe and the energy, and yeah, there's just something about it that I love. Like you can just get lost, right?
Yeah.
Like you can just go around the corner and experience something completely different. This
Yeah.
just I don't know, there's just something about being getting lost that just is very, I don't know what the right word would be,
It's
you
so
know?
easy. I mean, dude, the funniest thing is the first time we went there, we got an Uber from JFK to a place downtown Manhattan where we were staying. This last couple times though, we're like, screw, I'm not paying $100 to have some guy drive us. And so literally, like this time we got off the plane, walked to this
Mhm,
thing called the air train. It takes you to the Long Island Railroad, take the Long
mhm,
Island Railroad into Penn Station, take the subway from Penn Station to Malcolm X Boulevard. We got off there, walked a block to our place. Like cost like $12.
mhm,
But you are lugging your luggage around all these places. So coming was great because we got there so wickedly early in the morning.
mhm.
But leaving was crazy because everyone and their dog was like, it's rush hour, literally.
Oh, yeah.
No one gives a crap though. No one's like, look at these weirdos, like lugging their luggage. I mean, everyone was. It was the funniest thing. That's what I love about it too, is no one cares what you're doing. Keep it to yourself, but we don't
Mhm,
care. But if you step over that, you start involving other people, then they care. Does that make sense? Like
mhm.
I've seen a lot of those, like mind your businesses and stuff. People are getting a little bit too weird.
The thing that I love about and it's New York, right? And I
Hmm.
honestly, I don't know if we've had this conversation. I'm sure we've had this conversation before because we've talked a lot about a lot of things. But the thing with New York that I like is New Yorkers, they're not nice, but they're kind.
They're not nice, but
They're kind, right? Like they will go out of their way, to be kind. But yeah, it's like if you like if you are annoying them, if you're doing something that they know will like get you out of like get you lost or whatever, especially if they know you're a visitor, they will tell you exactly what you're
they
doing
did.
wrong.
Yep, they
And
have
I
to us.
love that, and that's the thing that, like, I feel like I have the mentality sometimes of a New Yorker, or at least I
Hmm.
have the patience, I feel like, of a New Yorker, because I feel like I'm a kind person. I don't like necessarily saying that loud because then people are like, "You're so full of
But you
yourself,"
did talk about road rage once. Yeah.
I know, right? But there's
Yeah,
kindness, right? There's kindness and then there's niceness. Like sometimes, like I just it drives me crazy when people are nice. I'm like, no, just t- just just tell me how it is. Stop being nice. Stop trying to tell me something that you think I want to hear or that you feel obligated to say,
yeah,
right? Which I feel like is a very much of like a West Coast kind of thing
I think so.
because
Yeah,
as much as I love California, as much as I love even Vegas, um, they're they're nice people, but
yeah,
they're not necessarily kind, right?
yeah, yeah, and these
Like
guys
you
are
can
hard
tell.
workers, and they need to be there, so get out of the way. Like, doesn't make
Yeah,
sense? Like,
yeah,
yeah, so
exactly.
it's
And
kind
so
of
like
amazing.
yeah, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm on the wrong coast, you know?
Dude, I'm with you, and the thing that I love about it is it's so easy. Like, literally, like, once you use your Omni card, like,
Mhm,
12 times, the rest of it's free. So you're paying
mhm,
about $32, $36 a week for
mhm.
transportation, and that's anywhere you wanna go, if that makes sense, like,
Yeah,
anywhere. And so I'm thinking that's about what we pay on average for gas, you know? But then there's no maintenance, there's no,
mhm,
and there's it's just easier. And yeah, you gotta be patient and stuff. I mean, we got caught in the middle of everyone trying to get to the Knicks game because the playoffs, right?
mhm, mhm.
And dude, I've never seen this many people in some of the subway stops. Like, it was crazy, but I loved it because, like, everyone was going where they were
Yeah,
going. And
yeah.
yeah, I mean, we packed in the standing room only, but like, I love the energy, brother. I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing. I think in another 10 years, as all the kids grow up and get married and move out, like, that's where I'm headed, brother.
We're gonna
I
lose
love
you
the
to New York.
diversity. I love the diversity. I love the culture. We were invited to my cousin's house. His husband is a practicing Jewish man, and so we got to go there and now I'm gonna forget Seder. Is it Seder? I can't remember what the name of the dinner
Passover.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Passover. It was like the beginning of their holy day. So it was Friday night to Saturday. Anyway,
Sagat. Sagat?
yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Learned tons of stuff about their culture and
Mhm,
stuff, and learned some of the funny rules and things they live by, and even things that he thinks are kind of funny. Spoke to a bunch of like Orthodox Jews, and I love the diversity, man. Like, I talked to a bunch of Muslim guys, and people that probably need Jesus too in other areas. I loved it. Like, I
you
love the
know,
diversity.
I'm trying to think. Oh, see, I don't have it. I don't have it right near me, but oh yeah, because I I'm the worst when it comes to like reading because I fall asleep like in the middle of me reading. But I've been reading because yeah, I've especially lately, and I usually get this way around Easter.
Hmm.
Love like religious diversity. I love certain aspects about different religions, right?
Yeah,
Whether it's Judaism, Lutheranism, catechism, whatever it is, right? Or
yeah.
Catholicism. And I just love having conversations with people. Like I I'm not here to convert you. Yes, I'm LDS, I'm Mormon, but that doesn't mean that I'm here, trying to I turned off my light.
Like,
Oh, that's weird.
ooh, wow, look at that. You
Hold
look
on
good
one
though.
second.
You're so excited to tell us all these stories that you actually went dark, man. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, kicking your plugs. Quit kicking your plugs.
I know I don't know what I did. Anyway, um but like I love just having conversations, and I'm the same way with other cultures, and
Uh
it's
huh.
just when you can have a space where you can just have a conversation, right?
Yeah,
My gosh, what am I
dude,
doing?
you're trying to cancel you right out, isn't it? It's like
I
going
know. I'm
dark,
like,
going black. Quit
hold
kicking your
on.
plugs, man. That's what it looks like you're doing anyway. Yeah.
Stupid thing.
So for all you guys that aren't able to see this, Josh is having a devil of a time trying to keep his lights on. Did you guys pay your bill? Maybe that's what it is. You guys haven't paid your bill, right?
Well, I- this is so ridiculous.
That's funny though.
There
I
we
love it.
go. It just, I kinda yanked it out of
I'm gonna
the,
send you
plug.
another picture of, the Catholicism. There's St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is amazing, right across from the Rock downtown. But
Yeah.
this one, the Cathedral Church of St. John the Divine, like, I'm gonna send you this picture, and it's funny because I'm like, "Marissa, go up there and let me get a picture of you next to the doors." And the doors look huge. Josh, wait till you see the freaking, Marissa compared to these doors. This chapel they've been building for over 120 years, 30 years, and it's still not done. So it's kind of like one of those
Mhm.
things. But she runs up there, tries to do this cute little pose, and you can barely see her. That's how big this
Oh
thing
my
is
gosh.
and how innate that thing is. I mean, hilarious.
She looks like one of the statues. I'm assuming those are all the, 12 apostles.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Um, like it's the funniest thing. You see how big it is. So
Wow.
everything there is history. It's big. It's there's a huge Catholic thing, and I'll tell you what, man, they are not happy with what the homeboy did. With Mr. Trump and his pictures. These Catholic guys are not happy with like what he's doing with the Pope. I mean, the Pope being an American, these guys are die hard. Like we don't play
It's
around.
I don't
Like
know, that's a whole other
yeah,
conversation,
yeah, and it's everywhere. Everyone's talking about
and
it out there. Like they are fit to be tied and tied to be fit because they're spiritual
yeah.
people. They're very. It's funny you wouldn't think about that, but they really are, man. Like
Mhm.
a lot of people are God fearing people out there. Like there's a lot together, and dude, they all just make it work.
Yeah, yeah. I, yeah, there's a lot that I wanna talk about, but I'm like, I hate talking politics because it's just I don't know, for the past, what, 10 years, it's just been 100%
It's
craziness,
been
and,
craziness.
I
Which is
can't
why
believe
you
it's
go
been 10
somewhere
years.
to like New York and stuff, and it's crazy just to be crazy. Like you don't have to worry about that stuff. You're just like, wow,
Yeah,
we're all just kind of doing it, right? We're all just kind
yeah.
of getting around. So
I don't know,
man,
I
it was
just
a fun time, Josh. I'll tell you. It was, and we got.
uh,
If you go anytime, I will go with you, and I'll show you everything that we've learned. And
I would
dude,
actually would love that. It's convincing Marianne.
I think she'd love it more than she thinks. 'Cause it's really,
I
it's not. It is
I
not a
think
scary
so
place.
too.
It's not a, it's not rough.
It's been what, almost 19 years since I've been,
Hmm.
so things are different. We've talked about that, um, either on this show or the other show, I can't remember. And by the other show, I mean the fartlek.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even when I went in 2007, yeah, completely different world. You know, really social media was in its infancy, like conception infancy. And that was also when I experienced the burst pipe that everybody thought was a terrorist attack at
Yeah, man.
first.
Yeah. Hmm.
And that was nuts, right?
Yeah.
So at the same time, I'm like, I would love to go. Like, there's so much more that I want to go see and do that not that my family limited us to that, but sometimes
Well,
when you go with
time
your
too, and
parents
like, yeah, you had to kind of collectively flow together. Hmm.
and it's still like the 9/11 site was still just the pit, right?
Yeah.
I would love to go there. I would love to go to a Mets game.
Hmm.
Yankee Stadium. I've been went to the old Yankee Stadium. That was fun. But like, I'd love to go over to Long Island. I'd love to go to a Mets game.
Yeah.
Mm, I'd love to go visit Madison Square Garden. Some of the sports places.
Yeah.
Um,
We were sitting over there
just
eating a bagel because I'd never seen Madison Square Garden. So I'm like, let's go. I want to go at least see it, because
mhm.
we always go to Penn Station underneath it and never go upstairs to look at it. And I go walking up there, and then some singer comes walking out with a big posse of people. And I don't know who he was. Marissa's like, oh, that's so and so. And I guess he was giving a big benefit concert to all of the NYPD for something, a free concert. And I'm like, well, hey, there's somebody. My cousin who lives there that we ate, dinner with, his corner neighbors. What's her name? Katie Couric. Is that? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I talk to her all the time. And, like Al Roker, neighbor behind him. I'm like, Al Roker, that guy picked my wedding day. Like, it's the funny thing. Madonna, 2 houses down from where he lives. And I'm like, what? Like, they're all
yeah.
just people. It's the funniest thing, man. But
And
dude,
that's
you'd
and that's
love it.
the
I think you would
thing.
love it.
I know I totally would. And that's the thing with about New York. That's it's more. I mean, yeah, Hollywood and California gets, I think, a lot of the headlines, but like New York really is like the heartbeat of a lot of that stuff. Whether it's economy, whether it's like news and um, financial world, business, everything. Right?
Mhm.
It really is the heartbeat of the country,
Yeah.
and I think people forget that a lot of the times, and that context, I feel like, isn't necessarily taught in schools when we're teaching about, like, 9/11. Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason why it was targeted like that, and I feel like you have to experience New York to really fully understand 9/11, if that
Well,
makes sense.
yeah, dude, you
Yeah.
do, and well, all that, like, even going down Wall Street, it's funny, like, Wall Street, literally, they call it Wall Street, is there is literally a wall
Mhm.
segmenting, blocking off New Amsterdam from them, and so you can see that they've kind of, like, memorialized these little squares where the wall was, and I'm thinking, "That's crazy, it's huge." That's why they call it Wall Street. It's right by where, George Washington gave his inaugural address after being elected. It's right there next to the stock exchange, which blows my mind, man. And it's funny when you start thinking about this as you're looking at like new Manhattan, it's all a landfill. It's all the garbage that they put there that they built into an extension of their dude. It says so many crazy things about it. Like everywhere you go, it's history, man. Like Washington
Mhm.
Square right there. If you've ever
Mhm.
seen what's the show called with is it what's his name? What's the guy's name? Great. Now I'm trying to remember. Washington Square, it's where the Fresh Prince, Will Smith,
Oh, yeah.
when he played the guy, Neville, the guy that was the
I know
last
what you're talking
man
about. I
on
know what
Earth.
you're talking about. I
What the
know
freak
you're
is the
talking
name of
about.
that show?
Now that you said that, I
Mhm.
can't think of it. Dang it.
Absolutely.
And right now that half of our listeners
It's KP,
being
probably.
KP and
I Am
maybe Rick.
Legend. There it
Yes.
is. I Am Legend. Neville's house is right there next to Washington Square, and the scene where all the vampire whatever guys are rushing his house and stuff, it's all right there. Underneath Washington Square
Mhm.
is a graveyard of 200 plus dead people still there, bones underneath.
Yeah.
It's,
Well,
it's
and
crazy.
that's the thing is, it really kinda helps you realize, though, like, how young our country still is.
Very much
I mean,
so.
250 years old, I mean, that's just the country itself, right?
Yeah,
But then when you go to places like Boston and you go to the Paul Revere house and, which
which I'm
is,
doing
what?
next month too, by the way, for my son Boston's graduation. We're taking him to Boston, so that'll be
Like,
another time I'll have to miss you for a minute.
well, yeah, which race are you gonna forget to s
Dude, seriously. Yeah. But that's the thing. You're right. It's
It's
the
yeah.
history. It's not we're still very young, and that's what's kind of funny about it. Like
Mhm.
obviously you go back to Europe and stuff like you've been, like the Colosseum and stuff. It's like, holy crap, man. Like
Yeah, and you just have these random, like, ruins in the middle of the city, in Rome and Greece, and
you know what was
I'm
kinda
sure
cool this
others.
time too? We went to the top of the rock, it's, 30 Rock and stuff just down there where
Mhm.
NBC is, where they have, like, Radio City Music Hall, and they've got, like, the Jimmy Fallon Show and Saturday Night Live and stuff. We went on top of that because it gives you a great perspective of, like, a good skyline view of the Empire State Building and stuff. And it was cool, they
Mhm.
put us through this little thing at first before we got to go on top, and they were talking about how when they started this, he wanted it to be kind of like a hub for communications and television and things, and the history of that just being a city within a city, and I'm like,
Mhm.
that is vision beyond my comprehension, like, just
Mhm.
mind blowing. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
cool place, man. Trying to see
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon, but didn't get to see him. But
Yeah,
and art of the wazoo. I bought lots of street art, dude. I bought tons of street art.
did you buy any, like, bootleg CDs?
No, we didn't make it down to Canal Street, but that's
Do
where
they
we can
still
go there.
make those?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel
Mm.
I feel like at this point, they should have evolved to where, like, they'll just send you a link for an app to download the music or
Well,
something.
we got caught in a couple protests. It was really cool. We got one down in Washington Square where there's a bunch of people that were protesting meat. They want to be vegans, and so they were broadcasting on projections like up on buildings and stuff. They were doing like animals being destroyed. I thought, well, that's not good, but I'm still hungry. We were coming right out of our place we're staying at because we were up on the east. the northeast side of Central Park.
Mhm.
It's where we were. We come walking out over to Malcolm X Boulevard, and we get caught in the middle of this like marching protest, and it was cool. It was a bunch of African American folks that were kind of talking about reform and trying to keep people out of jail, and they were talking about why the community needs young black men to stick around and be part of the family. It was so amazing. So I'm taking pictures of them, and it was there's a lot going on, dude. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, but
Well, there's always something around every corner, I swear, in New York.
they're
One thing
really
I one thing I do wanna touch on, and you kinda mentioned it before with Boston. So Boston Marathon was this past week, was on
did
Monday.
you see his time? The winner's
No,
time?
I didn't see the time. I know that he
Yeah.
won again.
Yeah. Just over 2 hours, man, like 2 hours and 9 minutes or something like that. I'm like, that's like it's like almost 4 a little under 5-minute miles. Like, that's crazy. Like, that is
That's like my half
mind-blowing.
that's my half PR is
Yeah, dude,
209.
like, it's crazy. But, yeah, Nike did. They put their foot in their mouth, and it's funny to read and, like, a little bit about why that was. Josh, for the listeners that don't know what we're talking about, what did the sign say? It was an
Okay.
advertisement on the building.
So it's an advertisement that Nike put up somewhere downtown Boston. I don't know exactly where, but probably somewhere prominent along the Boston Marathon route. And basically what it said was, "Welcome to Boston, runners welcome, walkers tolerated."
Tolerated.
And it's been interesting. I'm not gonna lie. It's given me more incentive to just avoid social media altogether because I get annoyed by social media so much because sometimes I don't know. I don't want to take and I don't want to sound like I'm trying to minimize the messaging of it, but sometimes I just feel like people jump onto these things and they don't know why they're jumping onto it. But
Mhm.
that goes with not just with this running thing, but it goes with pretty much anything that people state on social media. Anyway, it's just it's been all over because I mean I have obviously a lot of running friends and a lot of people up in arms about the messaging of it, right? And it's been interesting because I've had a few friends that have asked me for my opinion on it because they know one, I do a lot of run walking. I'm not the fastest runner. I've swept a number of races, marathons, half marathons, and whatnot. And I don't know. Part of me is just like, I don't care. But it's not that I don't care. I guess my real opinion of this whole thing is the message that I took initially when I saw the ad was one. I didn't take it as necessarily this hit on people who walk during a marathon or a race, right?
Right.
I took it initially as welcome to Boston, runners welcome, walkers tolerated. And I took that more in the sense of the Boston attitude, right?
Mhm.
I'm walking here. Well, I guess that's also New York, but
Mhm. Yeah.
like, get out of the way, kind of what we talked about earlier, right? Just don't like get in my way, kind of mentality. That's how I took it, right? But then being a marketer myself and being in an advertisement, like that's how I took it. But when you're in advertising, you've got to like put into the equation when you're planning these things out, how is this message going to be taken?
Yeah.
Even so, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been, but I'm like, your marketing team screwed up.
Well, that had to pass many people's eyeballs, and either
Yes.
A, they were too afraid to say something, or B, they missed the mark completely. Because
Mhm.
I was pissed at it because I thought that's the dumbest thing ever. There's a guy that
It's dumb. Like,
it's
not
stupid, because there's a guy that posted about this, and I liked what he said. He said, obviously, it missed the mark, but he said many people, taking on their first marathon, they do a lot of walk. And what was the guy's name that just passed
Jeff
away that you
Gallo.
said? Yeah, that's that's a legend. And
Mhm.
what did he teach? That
Run
method, right?
run walk,
Run
yeah,
walk.
run walk meth
Mhm.
the run walk method. I I do that all the time. It's usually 3 or 4 minutes of running, and then it's anywhere from, I mean, right for me, it's usually about 45 seconds to a minute of walking.
Absolutely. But the thing that I don't like about it is yeah, but there was an unidentified runner this time. And you've seen her that went viral and it showed her trying to just crawl across the finish line.
Hmm.
She'd gotten injured and so she couldn't run. And so she was literally like crawling. And my comment was, well, don't tell Nike, right? Don't tell
Hmm.
Nike. This woman, Josh, was on all fours trying to get there. And to me, I'm thinking she could have given up. She could have gave up,
Hmm.
but she wanted it so bad that she was
Yeah.
willing to crawl, not even walk because she couldn't. Like, to me, I'm thinking runners, well, walkers tolerated. Like, Nike, you missed the mark. And my biggest thing that I've been saying on those posts is that's pretty bold coming from a company who makes absolute crap running shoes. We've
Hmm.
talked about this in the past. The running shoes that I took video of, those 300 and $280 shoes that when they get wet, squeak. Like, come on, Nike. If you had these amazing running shoes that made us run faster and jump higher, you might have legs to stand on, but you guys make crap running shoes, period. End of story.
I I have a new slogan for Nike.
Let's hear it.
Nike shoes. Walking welcome, running tolerated.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm losing
I'm
toenails
telling you.
and mess up my feet because I got some Nike Air like
Yeah.
Maxes that look great,
That's no,
suck as
mine.
running shoes, walking
No,
shoes.
I had the Nike Pegasus.
Mhm.
That's what I had back 10, 12 years ago, which gave me, you know, hair fractures.
Yeah,
You
if you're
know,
buying Nike running shoes, you're doing it just for that name. You're not doing it because it does anything for you. It is not a
well,
good running shoe.
well, and that was kind of my introduction to running. I felt like that's the only brand I really knew. There's so many better shoes.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I would
basketball,
much,
you guys they've got basketball shoes down. That's fantastic. Go right
yeah.
ahead. But
But see, I would much rather run in my Sunday best shoes than run in Nikes. So
dude, yeah, I'd rather run in 5 finger toes than put on another pair of Nikes. Like that, no,
yeah,
man, it rubbed me the wrong way just because I thought that passed a lot of people's eyes.
yeah,
And in my line of work with addict to athlete and stuff, movement is healing. Any
hmm,
movement can get somebody motivated and inspired to reach something, that they didn't think was possible. So to me, I'm thinking, you arrogant buttholes. Like it pissed me off. Like
yeah.
when I saw it, like you're taking a little bit more of a,
Well,
yeah, not me,
like,
man. I was upset. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
well, no, and it is dumb. Like I
It's
mean,
so
the thing
stupid.
is, and maybe it's just the way that my brain is wired, but like I initially took it as like kind of the Boston attitude, right?
For sure, which I think that
But the
might have been
thing
what
is,
they were trying to aim for,
yes, and that
but there's a lot of
I'm
people there.
pretty sure. That that's the case because, like, yes, there's a lot of people that are there, and it's an ad that is specifically just in Boston, right? So
Huh?
they're trying to advertise to 2 different markets, and
Right.
I think they're trying to appease to the runners, and they're trying to appease to the locals, right?
Mhm.
And I get that, I understand that, but it's like, you still need to connect the dots here in what your messaging is gonna go out, because it is not a national campaign that you're doing here. But once it went national, your context is gone, and you have to put that into consideration when you're marketing.
Yeah. I think what happened too is that they put it up there thinking it was funny, and it is, right?
Mhm,
But it also this elitism and, like,
mhm,
everyone's had to walk at one point in time. In fact, you have to walk before you can run, you dum-dums. Like,
mhm.
there's so many aspects to that that shouldn't have passed the go button.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
think there's a
no.
lot of people that get pissed off and say, "Oh, well, you guys gotta stop being so easily offended." And it has nothing to be with I'm not offended by it at all, but we're calling
Yeah.
out the stupidity in it, you
It's
know?
yeah, it more than anything, at least, is a stupid campaign
It was
that
dumb.
missed the mark,
Well,
right?
and it's true, and again, and I get kinda passionate about it, but I'm like, "Yeah, that's pretty dumb coming from a company that makes crap running shoes." Like, I've never in fact, I'd love to know how many people actually win these marathons wearing Nikes. You'll see very few, if any. They're all wearing other shoes.
True.
So, yeah,
That is
you show
true.
me. You show me how many victories Asics or New Balance or whatever, you know? I mean, shoot, I remember a couple years ago, someone was wearing Skechers in one. Like, come on. Like,
The ones that rock, those are
I hope the
awesome.
ones that rock and ones that glow, that light up as you're prancing around. So, yeah, let that be a lesson to you,
I
Nike, coming from the Best Darn Podcast Show hosts.
right? Because I'm sure that everybody on the Nike board is listening to.
Josh, we have to get into. I mean, we've got to get into the New York Marathon. It is. I was looking at it again. It is so damn hard. So I may bite the bullet and fly out there a couple times and do a couple other races just to get in. Because
Mhm.
if you do 3 other races, you can get in. Like I'll have to like save up a whole couple years salary and like fly out there and just do 3 races to get in. Because like it is the most difficult race to get. I think it's almost harder to get into that now than it is Boston. Like I kid you not. Like it
Really?
is nuts. They had the
Where
most people ever apply for the Boston or for the New York Marathon with the least
Mhm.
amount of chances. I think people that didn't get in, it's like a 1% chance. And there was like, dude, it's nuts. But like,
So, while we're on this topic and while I have you here and I have your attention, I think,
yeah, I am jet lagged, but you've got a few more minutes. So,
I did sign up for the St. George Marathon.
and I have
A little
not.
hesitant I'm a little hesitant to put that out there because it's just like one of those things. We've talked about this the past few years, right?
Hmm.
I just
I have a
am
bone to pick
feeling
with
that
that race.
pull, I'm feeling that need. Would you sign up for it as well if we did it together?
Trying to think, I think there's something happening in October. I think my daughter
General
might be getting
conference is the
married.
same week.
I don't
Well,
know.
okay.
Yeah. I think I'm hesitant because it whooped my fanny last time, so I think maybe I should just for the simple fact of I gotta go back and beat it up because, you
Yeah,
know
and that's kinda how I'm feeling.
yeah, yeah, you bring up a good point.
It's been 10 years since I've done a road marathon.
Do we still
It's
got it?
just
Do we still got it, right?
I just need to do one more. Like, I've done 11 road marathons, and I feel like I just need to do one more because I gotta round that up to 12,
Mhm.
and I don't need to do it to prove it to myself, but I feel like
Yeah.
I need the journey from point A to point
I
B.
think I need to prove it to me because it did it. It kicked my fanny. At this age, I should have given it more respect than
Mhm,
I did. Does that make sense? Like, I should have
mhm,
been more like maybe trained better, focused better. I don't know, but I was doing great until halfway through, and all of a sudden,
mhm.
bam, wall. So I do have a bone to
Well,
pick with it. Let me talk to the other half of this team here. I don't think there's anything happening that would keep me from doing it, other than completely terrified. But if you're my sidekick, I think I might be able to handle it.
oh, yeah, we could totally do it, and then we can just leave Marianne and Marissa, to their own devices.
Dude, yeah, yeah. By the time
But you gotta sign up quick because I think it's pretty close to being filled up.
I'll check it out to see where we're at. But yeah, let me talk with the better half. But I don't think there's nothing's keeping me back. I don't think other than fear of what happened last time. But that's a good reason to do it, right?
I also feel like I'm gonna be running this alone.